Greetings and welcome back. Hey there, Sneak Cat. Hey there, any folks viewing anonymously. Welcome back to the fourth installment of Rose of Winter, fourth and final. Today we have Little Prince Elgandir and his Caretaker. So that should be an interesting one. We've never had a second person to escort, let alone a child, so hopefully it does not reach the same, hopefully it does not skirt the same edge of almost not safe for work as the last one did. It's good though. I have really enjoyed Rose of Winter, so I'm looking forward to stream today, and I hope that you are all looking forward to it too. We have good shit coming up. Yeah, so I hope you all have had good days. I had an interesting day. I had to get a needle today. It was an immunization for pneumonia because it is recommended for the immunosuppressants that I'm taking for my lupus, to have the pneumonia vaccination, just because, you know, suppressed immune system can fuck you up a little bit. So at first I was like, that's really sore. Yeah, what's going on there? But I just went to, I'm not gonna lie, I'm wearing my pajamas right now. But I went to change into my pajamas and I realized that, my upper arm, kind of like a little above, you know, they do the thing like close to the shoulder, right? My upper arm, like the top half of my upper arm is like noticeably swollen. So that would explain why it hurts. I hope that goes away. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm nursing, I don't know, whatever the fuck's going on over there. Fall into the moment's hole. Ah! There's a wholesome, you're gonna scream. Yeah, Moomin is wonderful. I have a friend who named her cat Moomin. Her cat is not so wholesome and social, but is still a very nice kitty. Okay. In we dive. One last time. And last one left, Little Prince Elgandir and his Caretaker. Oh, music. Oh, fuck. That is, yes, thank you for reminding me. I forgot. I have to turn the desktop audio volume way the fuck down for Rose of Winter. It's super loud for some reason. Also, frog in my throat. I did my vocal exercises today and everything. Okay, so that should be a little better now. Gonna have some quick water, and then let's hop into this one last little story. Okay. Oh yeah, let me know if it's not good and I have to turn the volume back down a little more. But I think it should be okay. I turned it like way the fuck down, like from... Normally I keep it reduced like negative 25 decibels for desktop audio, but I turned it down to negative 40 for this. It's good? Good shit. Okay. I gather all... First line of the night. Here we go. I gather all my supplies together and arrange for a mountain donkey to carry the little prince and his effects. As soon as that's all taken care of, I let the prince's caretaker know that I'm ready to go. Good. Awfully decent of you to supply us. I've got my flask and my smokes, so I'm ready to hit the road. His flask and his smokes. Okay. And... That's not, That's not all you brought, is it? Huh, of course not. I've also got my deck of cards in case we've got time that needs killing. He winks at me. Is he just fooling around or what? I'm so bad at knowing if people are kidding. Big mood. Yeah, it's always good to be prepared, right? For some folks. Me, though, I prefer to just wing it. And they put him in charge of taking care of a prince, and he's just like, yeah, I'll wing it. Speaking of which, you can call me Crow. It's the name I like best these days.
Crow, nice to meet you. I'm Rosemary. So, where is the prince?
Still sleeping in, most likely. That lazy little... Okay, so like, I'm highly questioning his practices as a caretaker, but I'm kind of enjoying the lighthearted vibes.
He proceeds to call Prince Elgandir a word that I can't repeat in good conscience. Crow, should you really be talking about him that way?
Sweet lady, if you knew half the trouble he gets up to, you'd agree that's too kind a word. Okay, so our first choice is upon us. We have to either give him the benefit of the doubt as the person who knows the little prince best, or tell him that it's just straight up inappropriate to talk about royalty like that. I feel like maybe we should give him the benefit of the doubt, quite frankly, because the other option of, oh, you can't talk about royalty like that, well, sometimes royalty can be assholes. So I'm not vibing with that option number 2. Yeah, you're feeling not used to it as well, yeah?
Maybe you're right. I'm just not used to it. Sorry, I'm just not used to hearing language like that. It caught me off guard. We don't talk that way down on the farm.
Farm girl, eh? I might have guessed. You've got strong shoulders.
Oh, do I? I mean, I don't know. I guess I do work out a lot.
I can tell. Unlike me, I'm good at lifting spirits and not much else. We're gonna be real glad to have you along, darling. I can tell.
Oh, goodness, do you really think so? Well, of course, I'll do my best. Gosh, I almost forgot what we were even talking about.
You were saying you don't care. You were saying you don't much care for my language.
Oh, that. Well, I'm sure I'll get used to it.
Listen, if you're afraid I ain't taking this seriously, I'm sorry I gave you that impression. I promise, I care about that little fellow like he was my own flesh and blood. I'm just trying to have a little fun while I'm out here, you know?
Fun? But it's a deadly, dangerous mountain full of danger and deadliness and bad stuff.
We'll be fine. I've got a good feeling about this. Besides, you look like the kind of do-gooder who could take care of a scoundrel like me. And him.
Now you're calling the king's son a scoundrel.
What that old king don't know won't hurt him. But I'll watch my language if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, I like him too.
He's cheeky. He's just a little bit cheeky. You got a hell of a smile. I don't want to be the one making it go away. Oh, he's really cheeky. Okay, he's already flirting.
Oh, thank you. Does he talk like this to all the ladies? I don't get a chance to ask because the little prince arrives from his room. He's carrying a box of books and toys and doesn't look pleased. These are mine. Don't touch them. Let's go already. I'm bored.
Oof. What'd I tell you? He's such a little scamp.
Hi there, Prince Elgandir. My name's Rosemary. I bet we're going to be great friends. Now don't you worry, because the path across Mount Needle may be tough, but I'm sworn to protect you. And so, I will.
Come on now, answer the nice lady when she's talking to you.
Shut up! You're not my dad!
Ah. Can't argue with that. Sorry, I tried. That's not how you handle being talked to like that from a child. Rose is strong as shit. Who wouldn't flirt with her? I mean, like, true. Oh. Man, that's not how you... like, I can tell y'all right now, like, I've had to kind of deal with similar forms of you can't tell me what to do in my days working at various summer camps, and the answer to that kind of question or statement is always, well, no, I'm not, but he's not here right now, and I'm supposed to be taking care of you, and I'm in charge, so be polite. Oh, my goodness. Cool. And with that inspiring start, our journey begins. The way up the mountain is pretty easy so far, and it isn't snowing much yet. Yeah, Crow's just kind of like, yeah, exactly, understandable, have a great day. Yeah. You just, I mean, like, coming at it from another angle, I can also sympathetically understand dealing with this shit all the time and just fucking giving up at trying to get the kid to be polite. Yeah, those two sprites do fit really well together. Like, you don't usually get that kind of real good eye contact between the sprites. They're just like, they're chilling next to each other, but these folks are like, they're vibing. I'll take that as a good sign. Crow and I walk side by side, and the prince rides his mountain donkey, which follows Crow obediently. Pretty good going so far. Pretty good going so far, huh, Prince? We couldn't have asked for better weather, that's for sure. Come to think of it, I never asked why you're taking this path in the first place. Oh, the prince has just been out on one of his little jaunts. He's got to be back in Starlight City in time for his birthday in a few days. That doesn't really answer my question. And what does he mean by little jaunt? The prince is like 5 or something. I guess I just don't understand royal stuff. Was he trying to run away from home or something? Hear that, little fella? Your birthday's gonna be a pretty big deal. The king's gonna fill the whole city with light in your honor. Not that you'll ever appreciate it. Yeah, my face is like Rosemary's face right now. Like, not that you'll ever appreciate it. That's the thing that you think to yourself, and you maybe complain about it to someone else later, but you generally don't say that kind of thing to a child's face, even if they're a really obnoxious child. Shut up! I don't care! What do you know about Daddy anyway? Not a whole lot, to be honest. But that doesn't matter. Come on, enough already with the sour face. I don't remember being this bratty at your age. Let's play a game. Yeah, that's it. A fun game. Oh, good fucking luck, Rosemary. Like,
I spy with my little eye something white.
Oh, Rosemary, you're on a fucking snowy mountain.
Is it snow?
Yes. God damn it, Rosemary.
That wasn't a very good game.
Sorry. I've got it. How about a magic trick?
Ah. As soon as he hears the word magic, Prince Elgandir's face lights up. He glares at Crow with intense, furious interest.
Okay, so there's the ticket. See, the way into a little munchkin's heart is to engage their interests, and that's how you can become close with them, you know? And then from there, maybe, you know, once you've built up an actual trusting relationship, and you're not just back-talking him in front of his fucking face, then maybe he'll trust you enough to actually listen to, you know, when you're asking him to, like, be polite or whatever, you know? You gotta actually, you know, work to develop a trusting relationship, especially as a caretaker. Like, as much as from the perspective of a person who's done all that work with kids, as much as it is, it makes my job a lot harder when kids enter the summer camp environment, but they don't respect that myself and the rest of the staff are the authority figures and the caretakers in that situation. It's kind of understandable. It's, you know, it's understandable that some kids, like, they need you to build that trust with them, and that's on you. You know? To put forward that effort, because it's worth it. And a lot of the time, there's good reason behind that distrust of authority. Oh god, this whole fucking stream is just gonna be me prattling about whatever the fuck you'll call it. And I don't want to say, like, childcare, because it's not, like, that shit isn't just for children, for, you know, children. Like, I work at a summer camp for teens. Anyway, I mean, unless you're interested, I will try to tone it down on the, lecturing.
As soon as he hears the word magic, little Prince Elgandir's face lights up.
Oh, I didn't put the word little there. I'm so used to reading that and thinking of that as the title of the route.
Prince Elgandir's face lights up. He glares at Crow with intense, furious interest. Show me! Show me! Crow steps closer to him, a sly look in his eyes, moving slowly to draw out the tension of the moment.
Seems you didn't wash well enough, little prince. You've got something behind your ears.
What? That's not true. It's the servant's job to wash me anyway.
Without another word, Crow pulls a huge red rose, thorny stem and all, out from behind the prince's ear.
Wait, where did that come from? How did he even do that? A flower that big, I'm sure I would have seen where he pulled it from. And you'd think the petals would be at least a little crooked from being up a sleeve, but they look smooth and fresh and sparkle with perfect dewdrops.
That's amazing!
The prince, however, seems less impressed than I am. That's not real magic. That's not real magic, stupid. That's just silly tricks. The jesters at the palace do that. I've seen it 1,000,000 times.
You sure it's not real? Maybe you ought to call the royal guard and have them throw me in the dungeon just in case.
Eh?
He turns his back on Crow and I and immediately retrieves a book from his basket of possessions.
You're boring. I'm reading my story now. Everyone go away.
Well, you heard the man. He's certainly a handful. I warned you. Not too good with kids, I take it?
I should be. I grew up with lots of little brothers and sisters. I like kids. Usually they like me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with this one.
Don't worry too much. I have a feeling he likes you plenty somewhere deep down. Yeah, you know what? You can't internalize a kid not liking you. Because sometimes they just don't. And it's nothing you're doing wrong. I mean, of course, it's always very important to double check and be like, am I doing something fucky here? But, you know. Sometimes it just be like that.
Crow hands the rose smoothly to me.
For you, darling.
Oh, thank you. It's beautiful. It really is. Against the snow and the cold sky, the rich red petals glow with warmth and beauty. I've never seen a color so striking.
By the way, what you said about... Oh, whoops, that's not Crow, that's Rosemary.
By the way, what you said about the Royal Guard, you couldn't really be thrown in a dungeon for doing tricks like these, right?
If they thought it was real magic, I could. That's the way the wind is blowing in the Southern Kingdom these days. The old king hates magic. Afraid of it, maybe. Using spells could get you fined or locked up a few months, but it's going to get worse in the coming years, I reckon. Lucky for me, it's all just parlor tricks.
That's a relief. So how did you do that anyway? Is it like sleight of hand or something, right? Or it's like sleight of hand or something, right?
He's silent for a moment, but there's a smile in his eyes. Now, if I went and told you all my secrets, I'd lose my air of mystery. And what would I be left... Oh, sorry, I just got to the end of that sentence and I was like, okay, we're going there, right? And what would I have left to seduce you?
Seduce? I clutch the rose tight to my chest and my face grows hot. But Crow winks at me like we're sharing a little joke. He's gotta be just kidding, right? It's hard to get a good read on him. He has a twisty sort of nature.
Yeah, it's just like, nope, that is absolutely what is happening here. I mean, like, the romance shit was gonna happen eventually. We all know what the fuck this game is. However, I mean, he did, like, immediately start flirting with Rosemary in the tavern, so expected, not surprising. Or, I didn't expect it so soon, but I shouldn't be surprised. There.
Am I even sure I can trust him? Crow keeps on walking ahead, whistling a jaunty tune. The donkey trods after him, with the prince safely in tow. I stay behind for a moment. I check on the rose, wondering how long it can last without water, and it's only then that I notice it's somehow just gone.
The fuck?
My hand is still clasped tightly around what I thought was the stem, but there's nothing there. I glance around to see if it's fallen or blown away. There is not a trace of red in all that snow. If the rose did fall, it's lost for good. Wouldn't I have felt that happen, though? How strange. No, I'm being silly. I must have dropped it. Honestly, I'd lose my head if it weren't screwed on. It's a bit disheartening to lose such a beautiful gift, but there's nothing to do but keep moving.
I'd lose my head if it was screwed on. I have not heard that turn of phrase in such a fucking long time. Like, I remember hearing that a lot when I was a kid. But I have not heard that phrase from anywhere in so long. I mean, potentially I heard it more when I was a kid because I was perpetually losing things, but I don't remember it ever being aimed directly at me. I just remember it was a common turn of phrase. Huh. Yeah, I have not heard that in a very long time. Okay, change of scenery. We've been walking for hours. The road gets a bit steeper, the going a little harder. The prince seems happy at least, riding his donkey, reading his stories, and ignoring everything else. Making it across Mount Needle with a child is going to be tough, and I'll have to take it more slowly and carefully than I usually would. Crow, for his part, doesn't seem too concerned. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So, what's your story, Crow? I mean, you're probably more than just a babysitter, right? Sure, but there's not much to say about it. I go here and there, do this and that. Nothing too interesting. I live out of my hat sometimes. You know how that is, don't you? You're a fellow wanderer, I can tell.
You really think so?
Sure. You got that look about you. Stars in your eyes, wind in your hair, even when you're standing still.
You're funny.
Who says I'm kidding?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I never really thought of myself that way before. A wanderer, huh? Well, I guess that's kind of true. It sounds so romantic. What I really want is to be a knight, though. I mean a real knight.
Huh. You got your heart set on working for the royals, do you? So there's no higher honor than knighthood, or no, it's a bit more than that. I feel like the second option would be dishonest to Rosemary's character. Because from the other routes that we've done, like, you can already see, right, that, ow, I just accidentally tapped the spot where I got the needle. Is that swelling more? I feel like maybe I should, like, do something about that. I was complaining about it on a Discord server, and someone suggested that I get some ice. And now I think that would be a real good idea. Anyway. Yeah, I get the feeling that for Rosemary, like, it really is a bit more than that, you know? And that it's not just the honor of knighthood, like, she's a genuinely kind-hearted soul who wants to help people. That's my take on it. How are y'all feeling about that in chat? Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. I guess I should get more sleep tonight. Although I'm gonna be up a little later doing fucking Photoshop shit because of my Sims competition I have an assignment due tomorrow. Oh! That's okay, Sneak Cat. So, yeah, the crow is just, asking Rosemary about her intentions in working for the royals. Whether her quest for knighthood is just for the honor of working for the royals or more than that. I'm on that boat where it's a little more than that, I think. I think for her as a character, really. Whew. Pardon me, my goodness. I am sleepy this evening. Oh, higher honor than night. Well, how about we roll for it? Ugh. Let's see, it's my d6 on top. Odd numbers, top result. Even numbers, bottom result. Okay, and that is a 2, so no higher honor than knighthood it is. Well, there's no higher honor than knighthood. Sure. I mean, who doesn't dream of being knighted by some beautiful queen and taking up arms in service of their kingdom? It's what I've wanted since I was a little girl. Maybe someday I'll get a chance to prove myself. I'll do something so heroic, so amazing, so cool, they'll just have to make me a real knight.
I mean, I'm not really sure what that is yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something.
Maybe you can make the little prince actually smile. I think the old king would count that as a miracle and knight you on the spot. Here, put my dice back.
That would be pretty amazing. I'm not sure I could pull that off though.
Oh, I wouldn't bet against it. Anyway, I'm rooting for you, darling. You show those royals what's what, and don't let anybody mess up your chance.
Don't worry, I never will.
Mind waiting here for a second? I'm gonna go have a smoke, and I don't like to do it in front of the little one.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
But isn't the donkey following him with the prince on it? I guess it's easy enough to, I don't know, tell it to stay?
I'm happy to watch Prince Elgandir for a moment. But when Crow's not back after about 20 minutes, I start to worry. It's getting dark. Anything can happen on a mountain like this. I can't forget that. Pulling the prince and his donkey along with me, I set out to look for Crow. Through the trees, I can see a small clearing. I can just make out Crow's familiar shape through the branches. But when I try to push through, the shape disappears. All I can see is a flash of blue on the cliffside opposite. And before I can go any further, there's a hand on my shoulder.
Looking for me?
Eeh! How'd you get behind me?
Just the usual way. Sorry, darling, I didn't mean to scare you.
That's okay. I just wanted to make sure you were all right. We should push on just a little further and then make camp.
Sounds nice. Lead the way.
I turn and leave with him. For some reason, I don't want to look behind me at what I saw, or what I thought I saw. Maybe I imagined it? But that flash of blue lingers in my mind, hovering around the edges of my memory. There's something familiar about it, but I can't place it. I guess it doesn't matter.
So, I was about to say, my guess is that Crow has been using real magic this whole time. But Rosemary's saying that it seems familiar. Tweaks an interesting note, because now it's like, well, why does she find it familiar?
Soon we make camp for the night, in a small cave on the cliff.
Also, I don't like the fact that the music hasn't changed back to normal. That makes me feel like some fuck shit's about to happen.
As I drift off to sleep, the worries fade a bit from my mind, but I see flashes of blue light in my dreams. I wake the next morning to the sound of a crackling fire and the shuffle of cards. Crow is doing more little tricks for Prince Elgandir. When Crow correctly guesses the prince's card for the 5th time in a row, the little boy almost cracks a smile. The smell of fried eggs wafts through the tent. I see that he's made good use of my food supplies. Crow, that smells so good. You can cook?
Yeah, Rosemary lore. Please and thank you. Yeah, we don't get much information on her backstory aside from, like, lived on a farm, had a lot of siblings, left home to become a knight. There was that one story in... Well, no, there was the story about the almost bear attack from Kuya's route, and then Tyrone had another story in it, didn't it? Or was that like a thing that already... We've had a couple of battle stories here and there, but otherwise we don't really know too much about Rosemary. Although I suppose she is also supposed to be the protagonist that we get to project on, so it kind of makes sense in that way. from a writing standpoint. Sure, when the opportunity goes and presents itself. You really are a man of many talents. Darling, you have no idea. So, want me to read your fortune in the cards?
Sure. I love hokey stuff like that.
Do you now? Well, I'm fond of it too. Let me guess, he's thinly veiling it, a mild insult at the fact that she called it hokey. Because I'm guessing he believes in this shit. And I'm guessing this shit's gonna come true, because I think that he's been using real magic this whole time.
I settle down on the floor across from him. He shuffles the deck and deals out 2 cards face down in front of me.
Okay, pick one.
Ooh.
Okay, I am not particular. Chat, do you have any strong opinions about which card will have, left? You got it.
Left.
Oh, damn, it's the pale fox.
He looks pretty sneaky.
Oh, don't worry, darling. It just means you're awful good looking. You know, a real fox. Of course, I didn't need cards to tell me that. So, was this whole thing just a ruse to flirt, or what?
Gosh, you're such a flirt. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I know I ought to, but I never am. Ooh, that eye contact. Okay.
What's it really mean, though? I mean, being good-looking isn't a real fortune.
Okay, so there is a real meaning behind this. It's not just a ruse to flirt.
Crow hesitates before he answers. There's a look on his face that seems unlike him.
Actually, the pale fox means somebody's lying to you, and you don't even know it.
My heart sinks. I know fortune-telling is just a silly game, but this feels different somehow.
I'm still thinking that the lie is that he's been using real magic this whole time.
After all, the only person who could possibly be lying to me right now is...
It's me. I've been lying to you.
Huh? You have?
Darling, the truth is... I ain't got the faintest idea what any of these cards mean.
You fucker. God damn it. Makes sense. Okay.
This is a good one, though. Imagine, like, oh, fucking hell, imagine doing someone's tarot and being like, and pulling, like, this trick. I mean, like, I legitimately don't know what the fuck tarot cards are supposed to mean. So it wouldn't even be a trick for me. I'd just be like, I don't know what the fuck any of this means. And they'd just be like, God damn it. I had a tarot card reading done once last year. It was a bunch of people on the camp I work at, a bunch of people on staff had brought their own decks. And it was our day off, so we were allowed to have a few drinks. And I got my slightly drunk tarot read by one of my coworkers. It was interesting. I don't think I really believe in that sort of stuff being actually predictive, but I do think it's an interesting way to see your problems from another perspective. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just think they're neat. But yeah, other than that, I haven't engaged much with any of that kind of thing. And apparently neither has Crow, because he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. After a moment of stunned silence, we both burst into laughter. I bet you think you're very cute, don't you? Oh, let's just eat already. The three of us have... Oh, achievement unlocked. Heart of the Cards. Ooh. The three of us have a nice breakfast together. Huddled together in warmth and safety, you'd almost forget that we're on a perilous mountain, and that after another day of travel or two, we'll part ways and never see each other again. I already feel a little sad thinking of saying goodbye. Eating together, talking, and laughing. It feels almost like the family dinners we had on the farm. I catch Crow meeting my eyes, and I blush and look away. He'd probably laugh if he knew what I was thinking. Oh, it's making her miss home. Once we're ready to go, we venture out of the cave. It's snowed a lot overnight. I try not to let it get me down, but the trail we're following is hard to find. On the other hand, considering the horror stories I've heard about Mount Needle, I guess it could be worse. After walking for a few hours, though, I realized the snow's taken us pretty far off course. We're officially lost. Well, shit. Ahead of us is an open crevasse, deep and jagged, like the stone was torn open by the claws of some giant beast. I can't see a way to pass it, and we shouldn't have come across it anyway. Not if we were following the path I'd wanted. That's trouble. Feel like swearing yet?
No, never. Don't worry, I can figure this out. Let's see. There's no way to make a bridge. Not a reliable one, anyway. Maybe I could try to leap across and find something on the other side? I'm bored. This is taking too long.
Calm down, little fella. I have a feeling we'll find our way across somehow.
It's nice that you're optimistic, but I have a feeling isn't really helping with...
Cool. Giant fucking owl.
Before I can even finish the thought, a terrifying screech shakes me to my core. Rising up over the hills is what looks like a giant owl. So all of that scratching in there is probably because this is somewhat of a home for this owl.
Why is he in front of the text box? Get behind the text box. After shrieking in fear, the poor little prince faints dead away. Well, shit. Yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna bust your eardrums by screeching. I'm glad he's not awake to see the huge bird's vicious talons unfold, or hear the deadly quiet of its noiseless wings as it flies right at us. Is that a night rock? But it's the middle of the day. That's impossible. It shouldn't be hunting in daylight. There's no time for questions, though. It's coming right at us. Whoa, shit. Okay, grab the prince and run or draw sword. Rosemary has proven to be a formidable fighter. And I don't know if her grabbing the prince to run would be a good idea. Maybe Crow? And then running with the donkey to get all of them out of danger. But, you know, if she runs, that thing's still going to be following them, right? Swords can actually do anything against the feathers. A valid counterpoint. Okay, let's roll on it again. Let's see which... Oh, okay, so my d6 has fallen down a little bit. Is this a d12? Okay, d12 for this one. Getting with the funky shapes. Grab the prince and run or draw sword. Odd numbers for the first option, even numbers for the second. And... well, I'm glad I'm not actually playing D&D right now because that is a nat 1. So that means grab the prince and run. There's no time to fight. My first priority is to make sure the prince is safe. I grab a hold of him and start to run, with Chrome and the donkey following behind me. The Night Rock, however, is too fast. In one swift motion, it's on top of us, and the sky above me is blocked out by a mass of wings and feathers. In one massive talon, it grabs hold of me, and I desperately keep hold of the prince. In the other talon, it grabs the donkey and Crow. As far as I can tell, it hasn't dug its claws in yet. We can still get out of this alive. The Night Rock carries us up high over the crevasse. Holding tight onto the prince, who is still unconscious, I manage to work my hand into my breastplate. Tucked in there, I keep a knife, for emergencies, or for situations where I can't reach my sword. This is both. Operating purely on instinct, and ignoring the sinking feeling in my stomach as we rise up into the air, I strike. My short blade digs into the meat of the Night Rock's left talon, the one grabbing onto me and the prince. The Night Rock howls in terrible pain, but so does Crow. Did the claws dig into him when I attacked? But I don't see any blood. Still, I'd better not strike again. I can't risk hurting anyone. But if I'm not going to attack again, I have no idea what to do. I wish I'd planned this out better, but then how could I have expected a Night Rock attack in daylight? Maybe I can wait for it to drop us in its nest and strike quickly at its heart, trying to kill it in one blow. My mind is racing, so I hardly notice that the Night Rock slows its flight and drifts to the ground. As soon as the rock passes over the crevasse, it drops us back into the snow, safely on the other side. Then the great bird immediately flies off, disappearing into the cloudy sky. What? Why did it do that? Animal communion, motherfuckers. Y'all, I am all over Crow. He's on that magic shit, I swear. Because he let out a wail of pain when Rosemary stabbed the Night Rock's leg. So I think that there's some animal communion shit going on. And that part of that for him was that he was all up and feeling the same things that the bird was in controlling the bird. I'm gonna stay on this conspiracy theory road about the magic shit until the very fucking end, I swear. Never mind. I've got to check on the prince first and make sure he's okay. I brush his sweaty hair out of his face and feel for a pulse. Prince Elgandir is still unconscious, but alive and safe. Thank goodness. I don't know how I'd live with myself if something happened. I look around. The Night Rock is completely gone. The donkey seems fine, if a bit dazed. Crow, however, is lying on the ground, clutching his left hand. I knew it! Crow, however, is lying on the ground, clutching his left hand. I rush to his side and pull him out of the snow, cradling him in my lap. Ain't this a nice situation? Oh, shut up. You're hurt. Gosh, your hand is really bleeding. Is that where it dug its claws in? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. It grabbed you around the waist, so it shouldn't have clawed your hand. An idea is coming to mind, foggy at first, but slowly solidifying around the edges. I cut the Night Rock on its left claw. It doesn't say left, but it was the left claw. They did specify that earlier. I cut the Night Rock on its left claw, and Crow cried out in pain when I did, and now his hand is bleeding in the same spot. I know what this means, although I can hardly believe it. You couldn't have
Could you?
You nailed me good with that hit. Don't fret about it, you couldn't have known. I reckon the jig is up now, though.
You were possessing that night rock? But why would you do that?
To get us across the crevasse, of course. Didn't expect you to be so quick to get a hit in, though. Damn, girl, you're good. These old royals would be fools not to make you a knight.
That means you're a mage. You were actually possessing a creature of that size? That's incredible. But if my strike on its left talon caused you to get the same cut on your left hand, then that means... He grins up at me and coughs, his voice a little wheezy.
Yep, I'm not too good at possessing. A mage skilled in that particular art would know how to keep his soul apart from the night rocks and not take on the same wounds. As you can see, I'm pretty rusty at it, so I took some damage.
Ouch! Oof, you really nailed me, darling. It's like he's actually proud that I sliced open his hand. He seems mostly okay, though. After a moment, he manages to stand up. His hand is bleeding, but not as badly as I thought. That's a relief.
If you're wondering, I know lots of types of magic, but only a little of each. Just enough to be slightly useful in most situations. I dedicate most of my time and energy to mastering one particular magical art, and that one's a real humdinger. It takes up a lot of my attention, so I don't have much left for anything else.
But if you're not good at possession, why did you try to use it to get us across the crevasse?
Well, like I said, I know just enough to be useful. And hey, you can't say it didn't work. Sorry for not telling you my plan beforehand, by the way. I was kinda hoping to keep up the ruse a little longer. Do me a favor, though, and don't tell the kid. I still need to wait for the right time. So, you shouldn't tell him at all, you'll get in trouble, or okay, but you should have told the king. Well, given that the king is giving out fines for practicing magic, I'm gonna say my inclination is for option number 1. Because he is gonna get in shit.
Although, I mean, maybe what he's trying to do is get close, show the king that magic isn't actually that dangerous, or, you know, counteract his prejudices, I suppose, and then do the magic reveal. But, like, that's a risky fucking move, my dude. You shouldn't tell him at all. You'll get in trouble. You shouldn't tell him at all. Are you kidding me? Maybe you can get away with using magic in... Maybe you can get away with using magic in the Southern Kingdom if you're careful. But the problem is, you're the prince's guardian, and you're a mage, and you haven't been truthful about it. If you tell the prince, people will find out eventually, and there's no telling what his father would do once it gets back to him. So that means you've got to keep it a secret. Please promise me, Crow, I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Rosemary, you do realize you're advising me to lie to the royal family, which is against the law, naturally.
I wish you didn't have to do that, but I can't see any way around it. You can't tell them, you can't let them lock you away or hurt you.
Well now, you've got a wild streak after all. Of course, that's no surprise to me. I knew it as soon as I laid eyes on you.
I don't know about that. I just know what's right is all.
You do, more than most folks I've met. Is he blushing? He blushing! Crow is blushing. You do, more than most folks I've met, and I'm very glad of that.
Thank you, Crow. I hope you know, I think you're a good person. That's why I really want you to be okay.
Well, I can't promise anything, except that I'll try. For what it's worth, I am sorry I lied to you. Truly.
I guess it's okay. You probably felt like you didn't have much choice, right? Now that I think about it, I should have guessed. Those little tricks you were doing really were magic. Whenever I asked about them, you'd flirt with me to dodge the subject.
Rosemary, I may be a lot of things, but I am not a man to use a woman like that. It wasn't part of my plan to sweet-talk you. I just couldn't resist.
You really feel that way? Crow doesn't answer, but turns away to face a large jutting rock.
What'd he do? He lifts his hands, and I can see his fingers glow with blue light. The same blue I saw on the cliffside the other night. No point in hiding it from you now. I've been drawing these all over the mountain while you weren't looking.
Waving his arms in wide arcs, he draws a strange symbol on the rock. The symbol shines with blue light, and my eyes widen. I finally know what's so familiar about this. That's a magical rune, isn't it? I learned about them back when I was working with some scholars. Oh, I knew I'd seen something like that before.
You know a lot more magical business than I thought you might. Not quite the rube folks takes you for, are you?
I don't really come across as a rube, do I? Anyway, it's like you said. I'm a wanderer. I've seen a lot of things. I don't recognize that particular symbol, though. What's it for?
Protection, of course.
I can't help but wonder, protection from what? What the fuck do you think? You're on a dangerous mountain.
Like, come on, Rosemary. I know that you're smarter than this. Like, you're doing some dangerous shit right now. So, it's putting a fucking protection spell down. It makes sense.
But Crow's not saying anything more, and I don't want to push it when he's already trusted me with so much.
Ah, it's all good. Welcome, Odd. Crow is turning out to be quite the, cheeky character. I'll put it that way. He's very cheeky. Oh, and he's a mage. Except he can't tell anyone that he's a mage, because, he'll get thrown in jail, probably.
What I need to focus on now is making camp for the night and making sure the little prince is safe and sound. We hole up in a nearby cave. Once the prince comes to, we do a thorough checkup, and he seems alright, if a little subdued after the day's events. Prince Elgandir, do you remember anything? There was a big bird, and you stabbed it and saved us. That's all I can remember, though. I guess that's basically true?
Oh yeah, Odd. Crow was possessing the bird to help them cross, a thingy, but the little prince does not know that. Hey now, how about a thank you for the lady who saved your life? Come on.
Thank you.
You thought Andrew said, is that the Adventure Zone again? This baby. Yeah, well, he's... The prince is, has a little bit of attitude. Oh, Dragon Age. Oh yeah, now that rings a bell. I think I had a friend in high school who romanced Anders. No, I might be picturing the wrong character. I've never played Dragon Age. But yeah, I had friends in high school who were super into Dragon Age.
No, they romanced a character whose name starts with F. Fenris! That's it!
That's the name. Yeah, I had friends who romanced Fenris. He's the fave. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I don't think... Of all the games that... See, my friends in high school played a lot of AAA games that I just never got into. And I still haven't... I still don't really do much with that scene. But I did try playing Mass Effect once. That's another one of the ones that they were really into. Kind of along similar RPG-ish lines. But yes, it was Fenris. That is the name I was trying to remember. Oh no, am I bringing up good memories or bad memories? By talking about Mass Effect. I know that people were really mad with the last one or something, right? Mass Effect Andromeda? I just remember there being a lot of fuss about it. Yeah, I haven't... I don't think I even got that far into the... I started with Mass Effect 1, and I got not very far. Oh, they're made by the same game devs. Yeah. You're... Yeah. Yeah, I remember people being very upset about it. And there hasn't been another Mass Effect game since then, has there? Like, people were just really mad about it, and then they were like, whoops, and then they didn't do anything else because they fucked up.
It doesn't take long for the little prince to fall asleep after dinner, but I have trouble drifting off. Too much on my mind, maybe. I manage to doze off for an hour or two and wake again. Prince Elgandir is sleeping like a little angel, but Crow is nowhere to be found. I go check outside the cave. Crow is sitting a few feet away, surrounded by swirling snow.
Oh, they're working on Dragon Age 4, but now they're focused entirely on Anthem. Oh, they're the people who did Anthem. Yeah, that's another one of those, like, 100% online games. No, it's all good. It's all good. I started talking about Mass Effect. Yeah. Another one of those ones that, like, is online only. They're like, it has single player, but like, that's just straight up a lie. That's, like, if I may vouch for Splatoon for the millionth time, because I fucking love that game. I feel like it's one of the very few, like, games that was, like, meant to be fully online that actually offers a really good single player experience, especially Splatoon 2, and especially if you get the Octo expansion. Yeah, I love that game so much. I've been taking a break from it for the past few days because I need to rest my hands, but I'm dying to get back into it. Yeah, did I mention ever that I finished the Octo expansion? I don't know if I ever brought that up on stream, but I finished the Octo expansion. I haven't beat Inner Region 3. I tried Inner Region 3 fight. I think I was at it for a solid at least like 20 minutes. I was dying like a lot. I think I only made it to phase 2 like 2 or 3 times. It's fucking hard. It's so fucking hard. And then I go on YouTube and people are like, there's some people like, oh yeah, this pro player beat it on his 3rd try. And I'm just like, fuck you. Or like, God, I follow this person on Twitter, who has beat Inner Agent 3 like 30 something times. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? How do you even beat him once? Yeah. I'll eventually get back to that, but I might just focus on multiplayer for now. Yeah, I don't fucking get it. I am glad that I've learned from other various videos that, like, it is 5 phases. Because, yeah, I was just kind of like, how many phases is this? Because wasn't, oh shit, how many phases is the regular Agent 3 fight? I think it's like 3, maybe 4? But yeah. God, like, the AI is so good. Anyway. If you have a Switch and you're not playing Splatoon, would highly recommend getting on that shit when you have the opportunity to buy a new game. Okay. These two have been patiently waiting, so Crow is outside, surrounded by swirling snow. I'm guessing that he's doing more magic shit. Goodness, aren't you freezing cold? Not really. Come sit with me, you'll see. Ah. As I come closer, I realize he's sitting in a little patch of sunshine and warmth. It must be some kind of spell. The snow doesn't touch him, and around his feet are grass and flowers, fresh like they're blooming in spring. I can even see a patch of stars breaking through the swirling snow clouds right above us. Damn, that's nice. Oh, and here's our little full page special image. Very cute. I have to sit close to stay in the little springtime spot, but as soon as I'm in, I feel warm and safe. He puts his arm around me, and I lean against his chest. I'm just having a nightcap. Want some? Oh, he's drinking. No, I don't. I mean, I have a rule about not drinking on the job. Which technically is a rule that he should probably keep as well, but... yeah, and his little birdie. You don't drink much, do you? Have you even tried before? What? Don't be silly. Of course I have. Well, actually, no. Yeah, I was waiting for that. Same hat, though. Rosemary. Never really bothered with the stuff. I just haven't really had the chance yet, and I've been on the job an awful lot since I've left the farm. It's not, like, weird. I'm not, like, weird about it or anything, though. There is nothing wrong with being, quote-unquote, weird about it. I'm a little weird about it. I don't like being around people who are drinking a lot. It makes me panic when I have to, like, enter, like, caretaker mode with people who are drinking a lot. And I don't know what it is, because I mean, it's not, like, related to any specific experience. Like, hell, we didn't even keep alcohol in the house at all when I was growing up. You know, like, the rare bottle of wine in case we had, like, an occasion we needed to, like, give someone a gift for. Like, a special occasion. But I don't know, it puts me in panic mode, and I'm like, what do I do with this person? Yeah. Darling, you don't have to make excuses to me. You don't have to drink if you don't want to. Good man, Crow. But you should know, it ain't wrong to want to try. Doesn't make you any less of a good egg. Also very true. He's being so nice, but for some reason, Crow's words make me well up with some powerful emotion, one I can't name. He has just that little bit of an accent. It's weird. It's like, I'm trying to remember through all of his text. I think he only really applies it when he says, you know, so like darlin' instead of darling. But I think most other words he keeps the G's on. But yeah, it's all, you know, he's called Rosemary darling a fair bit.
I try to distract myself by looking away, but the way the magical light hits the grass, it looks just like the garden back home in the heat of summertime. My heart hurts to see it. Oh, is she homesick again? Was it Tarun? No, it was Faulkner. No. Yes, it was Faulkner. That was when she got really homesick. Because of his cooking. I'm not that good. Oh, don't start with that. I ain't known you 2 days, and I can already tell you're better than most folks I meet. I don't know how I'm supposed to read that sentence. This is, well, that's not the screen I was looking for. Oh, well. We'll continue on. But I left my whole family to go gallivanting around, pretending to be a knight. Oh, it's reminding her of home. It's making her feel guilty for leaving. No, Rosemary. Mother and father are getting older, and now they have to handle the farm themselves. I left them. I abandoned them. I'll bet they wanted you to go follow your heart. That's what they said, but they're my parents, so they have to say nice things like that. Parents don't always say nice things. I reckon yours meant what they said. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's a hunch, but I think you're like me. We're cut from the same cloth. Folks like us won't be happy spending our whole life in one spot, never knowing anything else. You would have shriveled up like a daisy in a drought if you'd stayed. So when you left, you were doing something nice for yourself. That counts as a good deed in my book. Aww. Crow thinks I'm like him? The thought makes me feel warm inside, but I don't know if I believe it. He seems so wild and mysterious to me. Could we really be the same kind of person? I'm not sure, but maybe I'd like to find out. Oh god. Oh no. I'm gonna stay neutral on this one, chat. You got any opinions? Drink or don't? Don't. Okay, we have 2 votes for don't. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to take the risk and have a drink in order to be like Crow. You can be a badass of your own right without the alcohol. Don't have a drink. That's nice of you to say. I still think I'll pass on that drink, though. It's actually just hot cider, but my advice about being good still stands. It's not even alcohol? You like keeping secrets, don't you? I guess I've got a few to keep. I wouldn't mind telling you a few more. Maybe I'm a damn fool to do it, but I trust you. Well, I'm glad. I want you to trust me. Yeah? And why exactly do you want me to do that? There's a soft but measured tone to his voice that catches me off guard. A shiver runs up my spine, and I suddenly feel like whatever I say next might be important. Because I like you, and I think I trust you too. Suddenly, his face is close to mine. I shiver all over, even though it's warm here in our little bubble. Before I know it, he's kissing me. At first I tense up in surprise, but he's so gentle and sweet, and his mouth is so unexpectedly soft. I relax into him. Soon, my hands are stroking his face, feeling the scratch of his stubble and the strong curve of his jaw. I feel his hand on my thigh and pull myself closer. I don't want any space between us. They love pushing the limits of what I'm reading on here, don't they? After a few warm, breathless moments... Okay, I thought that was going to keep going, and I was like, it's gotten more descriptive than that before, so I wouldn't be surprised. After a few warm, breathless moments, we pull apart to look at each other. I keep my hands on him, as if he'll fall away if I don't hold on. Don't laugh, but I've never done that before.
Oh, achievement unlocked. Kiss from a rose.
That was my, first kiss.
Darling, I would never laugh at you.
So, I'm not sure how to do this. Should we go back to the cave?
Oh, I don't know. It's nice out here, ain't it? Yeah, the prince has been alone for a long time. If something happens to him while y'all are having your little romantic escapade, y'all are both super duper fucked.
Well, yes, it is. Let's stay a little longer. Crow lifts his hand and strokes my face with his rough, calloused fingers. There's something sad in his eyes. Or am I imagining it? What are you thinking about?
Just how lucky I am to be here. Of all the places and times in the world, I'm right here, right now. Sorry. I look down at Jen, it's just like, that kid's gonna be dead. I'm like, honestly though, like, it would be morbid, but I would laugh so fucking hard if they actually went that way. Because, like, of course something's gonna fucking happen when they're not watching the kid. Like, goddamn.
Crow. We stay out together for a little while longer. There's a few more things I've never done before, and Crow is happy to show them to me.
Okay, that's euphemism or innuendo, which would be the correct term there. Oh wow, it's 20 minutes after midnight. So, let's overwrite this save file. And flip on that break sign. We'll take a quick little break and squeeze. I know. Oh my god. Yeah. I just I might actually Google that while we're on break to check if innuendo or euphemism was which one was the correct term. I feel like it's euphemism, but I just want to double check. Okay. With five minutes on the clock. And then we will return to the following morning with Rosemary Crow and the Little Prince. Hey there, folks. Back we are. Let me get that break text off. And Rose of Winter. Let us return to Crow and the Little Prince.
I wake up early the next morning. At least, I think it's morning. It's hard to tell from inside the cave. We went back inside sometime last night, since we didn't want to leave the prince alone for too long. A soft sound from outside, like faraway thunder, shakes me out of my sleep. Maybe I should worry about what exactly that is, but it's darkened here, and I'm sleepy, and I feel good. Like I could take on 3 night rocks at once. When I'm more awake, that is. What a wonderful night. It's hard to believe that a few days ago I'd never even met Crow. Now it almost feels like I've known him for a lifetime. The little prince wakes up soon after me, looking well rested despite the early hour. He's watching me quietly. Half asleep, it takes me a moment to notice that Crow is nowhere to be found, even though I'm pretty sure he fell asleep next to me. Instead, I find the red rose again, lying in his place. How strange. I thought I'd lost it for good. What time is it? Where's Crow? I don't know. He went outside, but he didn't say why. The prince seems less confrontational. I wonder if he's still feeling subdued after what happened yesterday. Come to think of it, this is the first time I've ever spent any time alone with him. Oh, okay. What are you doing awake, little guy? Can't get back to sleep. I heard something and it woke me up. Yeah, I think I heard it too. It sounded like a rumbling or something, but maybe it was just Crow getting up.
So, you and him are friends now, huh? Why do you say that? Because after that big bird almost got us yesterday, you're always next to each other and smiling at each other. You know, like my mama and papa. Friends. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Hey, about that. Are you going to tell your father about the bird? I mean, it turned out totally fine and you're safe and all, but I don't want him to think I put you in danger or was reckless or anything. No, that's okay. I wasn't going to tell Papa about any of this. Whew, that's a relief. I mean, not that you shouldn't tell your father things, I just, you know. Wait, what do you mean by that? You're not going to tell him what exactly? About this. Crow told me it's our secret. Crow told you what? Just now? What's a secret? When he came to get me a few days ago, he said we were going to go on a little trip, and he'd bring me right back. He said I shouldn't tell Mom and Dad about it. I said okay. It's so boring at home anyway. Oh my God! Did he kidnap the prince? Ah! The trip hasn't been as fun as he said it'd be, though. I hope he gets back soon. Yeah, we love a plot twist, but not when it's fucking makes him a fucking kidnapper. Oh my God. Okay, I don't have any words for this. All I can do is just yell, so I'm just not yell directly into the microphone. I know, now he's made Rosemary complicit in kidnapping. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God. I suddenly feel wide awake. Goosebumps ride my arms, and my mind races to put together what Prince Elgandir is telling me. I'd been holed up in that tavern for days, so of course news of a royal kidnapping wouldn't have reached me yet. And Crow never explained exactly what they were doing out here in the first place. But that means he really kidnapped the prince and lied to me? Why would he do that? And why is he bringing the prince back now? No, this is bonkers. He wouldn't have done that, could he? I replaced crazy with a Rosemary appropriate word. He said I shouldn't tell you about this either, but if you're friends now, it's okay, right? I hear another rumbling sound somewhere in the distance. Look, just stay right here for a minute. I have to go check something. I rush outside. A few yards off the vast mountainside that lies behind us. Facing. Wow, I read that sentence too fast. I rush outside. A few yards off, facing the vast mountainside that lies behind us, with his arms raised like a maestro. Crow. His cloak and hair whip in the wind, which seems to be blowing faster and faster. The far-off rumble gets louder. Crow, what is this? You kidnapped the prince? I don't want to believe it, but he said... I didn't want to think you were hiding your powers for a bad reason, but... Crow turns to face me. His eyes look sad and haunted, but he smiles softly. Darling, you got no reason to trust me. I've been keeping the truth from you this whole time. I wouldn't blame you if you can't forgive me. I can hardly hear his last few words. The rumble rises to a deafening roar and the ground shakes. Almost too late, I realize what's happening. Avalanche? Crow's raised arms are glowing blue, and as he waves the gestures into freezing air, the mountain seems to crumble as if he's crushing it with a giant invisible hand.
almost too quickly to seem real, a wall of churning snow and stone rushes towards us. I can catch glimpses of that familiar blue light in the onslaught. Those runes. You were marking the mountain in key places so you could trigger an avalanche? Avalanche? What's going on? I whip around and my heart drops. The prince has wandered out of the tent and is watching us. Tent? Weren't they in a cave? I have to keep him safe, but what can I do? I can't fight an avalanche. You kidnapped the prince, and now you're going to kill us. Why? Why would you do this? Because you're upset about how the king is treating mages? Explain it to me! He sighs quietly and winks at me as if we're sharing a secret. Close, but no cigar. And with that, he pulls his hands together. The blue light surging from his fingers smash together with a noise like a thunderclap. At once, the boulders marked with Crow's runes move, as if unaffected by gravity, as if they have a will of their own. Okay, did he manufacture an avalanche to use his magic to save them to prove a point? But also he kidnapped the prince, so I don't know about that one. They pull together and surge forward just as the avalanche is getting close. The marked boulders stop short right in front of us, forming a sort of wall shield, so the rest of the crashing snow and rocks are diverted. I hear the roar scream in my ears as the mountainsides shake around us, but protected by the boulder shield, the three of us are safe. Okay, I think I might have been right. I can't tell how long it takes. My heart is pounding and I can hardly think, but eventually the avalanche settles and stops. The three of us, the tent, the donkey, and the path home, are all untouched. Crow finally lets his arms drop. He stands like that for a while, hunched over, breathing hard. When he finally looks back at me, he grins with some effort. I can't think of what to say. But the prince steps right up to Crow, his eyes wide in shock and sudden understanding. You saved us? With real magic? I don't know about that, kiddo. What do you think? I don't... A spark of wonder lights up the prince's eyes, then goes dim. His eyelashes flutter, and he takes a stumbling step and nearly falls face first into the snow. Crow is there just in time to catch him. The little prince is totally out cold, overcome with fear and excitement. Gosh, that poor kid sure faints a lot. Ah! It's sleep magic, just a touch. I used it the last time we were attacked too. Just want him to get through all this without being too traumatized. I mean, okay, understandable. Oh. That makes sense. I guess you were saving us from that avalanche after all. I'm sorry I accused you of trying to kill us. I don't blame you for thinking it, darling. I'd have drawn the same conclusion in your place. Maybe, but that's not how I see you. I just... He reaches out and puts his hand on my shoulder. At his touch, I feel calmer. Rosemary, I promise. It's okay. I still don't understand, though. How did you know the avalanche was going to happen? I'm sorry, pardon? Simple. I remembered it happening. And I remembered being saved last time I was here. The last time? Now that Crow is cradling the prince in his arms, I notice a few things I hadn't before. Are they the same fucking person? Their hair and skin are the exact same shade. They both have thick eyelashes, and their eyes are the same bright turquoise color, which is unusual for the Southern Kingdom. Like, I noticed the similarities, but I was just like, eh. They both even have a small earring on the left ear. No, it couldn't be what I'm thinking. You said most of your attention went to studying one particular school of magic, a really difficult one. Was that time magic? You are the prince? You came from the future? So that's why he was shit-talking himself. Oh my god! Boy, was I ever wasting my time trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Come on, it's sunrise and the Royal Guard will be here for me soon. The Royal Guard? So you're in trouble? If memory serves, yes, a whole heap of trouble. But I owe you an apology and the truth. I know! What the fuck? Oh my god! The whole truth this time. Do you want to hear it? Yes! Holy shit, what the fuck is going on here? Yes. Don't... Okay, good. I was like, are they gonna black out on the fucking truth or what? Like... We decide to get out of the snow first. Back in the cave, the prince sleeps quietly, and Crow shuffles his deck of cards. I still don't know what to think yet. My mind is numb. I guess I knew that, with time magic, something like this was theoretically possible. But everyone says that no one has ever been able to make it happen for real. Most scholars dismiss time magic as improbable and unwieldy and dangerous. The idea of a time traveler is a fantasy, unheard of. Could I really be speaking to one right now? I might be talking for a while, so I hope I don't bore you. No, please. I really want to understand. Well, alright then, you asked for it. But damn, I hardly know where to start. Well, for one thing, I never wanted to be a prince, and I certainly didn't want to be a king. But I always thought that was the only thing I could ever be. My whole life, everything's been planned out for me since before I was born. There were always tons of folks watching me, making sure I was doing everything I was supposed to. And the list of things to do, and the list of things I couldn't do, well, let's just say there's a lot of things in the world that ain't proper for the royal family. It was the same for everyone I knew. They all did what the royals wanted, and everything else was forbidden. I never got to leave the palace. I never knew there was anything different. Except, I always had a memory of this man, this strange vagabond with powers, who saved me one night from an avalanche on a mountain. I only half remembered it, and it hardly even felt real. When would I have ever been able to see a real mountain? I thought it was only a dream for a while. Still, it gave me hope. I knew there was another way to be. There were people who didn't live the kind of life I had, the kind my father thought was the only one worth living. Those people were magic people, and they could do things beyond what anyone can imagine. It was because of that mysterious man who saved me that I eventually looked into magical ability for myself. Secretly, of course. I know, right? This is fucking off the charts. When I found out I had some magic potential, my closed little world suddenly opened a big old window. Wow. Did your father ever find out about your magic? Hard to say. I don't know for sure if my old man knew what I was doing. But since that's about when he started making harsher laws about magical practice, I reckon he might have had an inkling. It was a hard time, but through it all, I remembered that strange vagabond who seemed to be able to do anything, and I felt like I could do anything too. And in a way, I could. When it got so that magic was completely forbidden, I used mine to escape.
That'll happen in about 10 or 12 years or so. Look for it, it'll make the news all over the world. Not to brag or nothing. They'll never find me, though. I mean to say, they never did. I got away clean. Life was hard living on my own, always on the run, but I managed it. And I was free to do what I liked. I could smoke and drink and keep whatever company I wanted. Nobody was watching me or telling me to do this or that. My magic always kept me a step ahead of the royal guard. I didn't think I had a care in the world. But as I got older, the face looking at me in the mirror got more and more familiar. I realized I was the strange vagabond from my memories, and it was my responsibility to set myself on this path. My fate, if you believe in that stuff. So I put all my other magic studies aside and started training myself in time magic. There isn't anyone foolish enough to teach that stuff, so I was all on my own, cobbling together what I could from scraps of ancient texts.
That must have been really hard. I don't know much about magic, but I know most people say time magic is impossible. I even heard someone say the only reason it's not forbidden is because no one can figure it out enough to use it.
That's right, but because I'd seen evidence, that I'd learned how to do it eventually, that gave me the confidence to keep going. I reckon by now I understand time magic more than any living soul, and there's still so much I don't have a handle on. It's like I'm feeling around in the dark, hoping I'm doing something right, or at least not knocking over anything important. I might be doing damage to the very fabric of the universe right now. I really don't have any way to know. But I know what I saw, and what I remember. I figured better do my part to help the past happen how it did. I just wanted to give myself that little glimpse. Not so much that he gets overwhelmed, just a little spark that'll burn hotter and hotter the more he grows up. I want to make sure he knows there's people like me in the world, and that he can become one of those people if he's willing to try.
But why did you kidnap him? And if you wanted him, you know what I mean. If you wanted to show off your magic, why did you make him fall asleep when you possessed the Night Rock?
Achievement unlocked. Freedom's just another world for nothing left to... Oops. I could not see the end of that achievement, unfortunately. See, darling, this is where time magic gets tricky. I did things the way I did them because that's how I remember it. I don't remember seeing any magic before the avalanche. But being here on this mountain tonight, it's an important part of the memory. I couldn't figure out how to get him here except to take him myself. Who knows why I ever did it in the first place? I guess it's just one of those tricks of time and fate where one thing feeds into another. Yeah, it is so fucking cool. Of course, I've already messed up and done things differently.
What do you mean? What's different?
You, darling. He's blushing. But yeah, so, if Homestuck has taught me anything, it's that they've created a Doom timeline. As soon as I saw you in the tavern and saw you were looking for work, I just had an impulse. I never could resist a beautiful girl, especially one who could lift me over her head. Snaps for that. That's a mood. No, just a paradox? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Yes, I see.
What? But you're risking everything to come back in time and do this. Why would you do something so stupid and bring me along? What if everything gets messed up?
I know. I'm a damn fool. But that's just my way. If I know anything, it's that I can't worry too much. Otherwise, I'll never have any fun in this life. And meeting you, it's been a lot more than just fun. It's all been worth it, don't you think? Worth it or not worth it? I'm leaning towards yes. Because fuck it, we don't know what the time travel rules are in this particular universe. We don't know if they've fucked everything over. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Yes, it's worth it. Yes, I'm so glad I met you. Even if you had to break the laws of the universe to get here. No one's ever made me feel like this before. I don't really have words to describe it, but if this feeling isn't worth taking a risk for, then nothing is. Spoken like a poet. See, I knew you'd understand. We really are cut from the same cloth. I don't know about that. I can't exactly bend space-time like you can. But don't you see? In a way, you already have. One look at you and I decided on the spot to change the course of history. Who knows the timeline? Oh, nope, there's not a word missing. I just skipped over it with my eyes. Who knows how the timeline might ripple and change, all because you and I got together on this go-around. I can't see all the ways time is affected. It's too vast and complicated for me, but I'd bet my life you've made an impact.
Don't say that. It's way too much pressure.
Sorry, darling. I'm just calling it like I see it. Okay, yeah, no. He used the accent again there, too, so never mind about my previous comment. Also, now this makes all of my previous talk about, how he was treating the little prince and, like, the details of caring for kids properly and all that. It makes it seem like very silly.
So, should I call you Prince Elgandir now?
Nah, keep calling me Crow. I like it best, because it's what you call me. Besides, the name my folks gave me never suited me much.
Suddenly, a loud, low note echoes over the mountainside. It's the sound of a horn being blown, the kind used by the Royal Guard of Starlight City.
And that'll be the King's forces coming to take me away. They've been looking for me. For the little prince, I mean. Someone saw him at the tavern back there, so they knew he'd be taking over the mountain, and they gathered their troops to catch him in the act. That's what I'll find out later, anyhow. Don't worry about yourself. I'll make sure they don't hold you responsible.
No! They can't do this! It's okay, I'll help you escape.
Not to worry, darling. I don't have much time left here anyway. I'll be gone before they get here, whether I like it or not.
Huh? What do you mean by that? Crow's not listening to me. The Royal Guard's horn sounds again, louder this time. They're getting closer, but he doesn't seem worried. He kneels by the little prince and gently shakes him awake. Once again, I am struck by how similar they are, now that I know what to look for.
Listen up, Prince. You need to tell everyone who will listen that I kidnapped you. Tell them that this nice lady here is the one who chased me off and saved you. Otherwise, they're gonna think she's my accomplice. Can you do that for me, little fella?
Okay, I can tell them that.
And another thing. It may not feel like it, but your folks really do love you, even if they have a funny way of showing it. Don't forget that, even for a second. But don't let them walk all over you, either. Your old man, he always...
Crow's voice catches in the middle of his sentence, and he can't speak. After a moment, he seems to choke back his words, apparently deciding he's said enough. The little prince furrows his brow. See, even though he hates all the restrictions of being royalty, he still misses his family. He had to run away from home. The little prince furrows his brow. He's still half asleep, and I'm not sure he understands, but it sounds to me like Crow just needed to say it for himself. After a bit, the sleep magic kicks in again, and the prince drifts off. I guess this whole journey will register as a dreamlike experience for him. Almost like it didn't even happen. But I know he'll never really forget it. And neither will I.
Alright, that's as settled as it's gonna get.
Now that Crow is standing up again, facing me, I can see that his body looks like it's fading a little. My heart drops. I can guess what that means, but I desperately hope I'm wrong.
Time for me to go, darling.
No, you can't! We only just met! It's not fair.
That's time magic for you. I can't stay in a time that's not my own. Not for long. I'm gonna snap back to the future any minute now.
Bring me with you then! I want to go too!
I can't do that either, much as I'd like to. I'm not sure how to bring someone else with me. And besides, that wouldn't be your time, any more than this one is mine. You'll snap back eventually, just like I'm doing now.
But can you come back? I just want to see you again.
Rosemary, I wish more than anything I could say something now to make you smile. But using time magic to come back here just this once was already harder than anything I've done before. I don't know if I could ever manage to try it again. I almost wish I hadn't met you so I wouldn't have to say goodbye now. But I just can't. Even if it all goes wrong in the worst way, meeting you was worth it. Okay, we're close to the end, so I'm gonna... This sucks. Ah, it does! Oh, it's so fucking tragic! They can always, like, he's from the future, though. Like, can't he set up a rendezvous with future Rosemary or something? I've been trying not to cry, but I just can't help it. I rush into his arms and pull him into a deep kiss. His body already feels light and cool, like he's not entirely there. It's not fair. Ugh, it's not fair! Crow, listen. Maybe it's not impossible. If you know more about time magic than anyone, maybe you can find a way that we can be together for good. It's a nice idea, darling, but I don't want you getting your hopes up. I might spend my whole life trying to find a way and never come up with anything. But how about this? I promise you I will try. Even if it does take my whole life, I'll do my damnedest to find a way back to you. I know that what he's saying is impossible. Crow and I can't stay together. When he's gone, he'll be gone for good. But it makes me feel better just to hear him say he'll try. It feels good to pretend. Ah! Okay, so he's from 20 years in the future. Okay, so that gives him an age then. He's 25, because the prince in present day is 5. Look out for me in about 20 years, alright? I bet you'll still be real cute. I've always had a thing for older women anyway. Don't make me laugh. I'll just cry even more. We kiss again for what might be the last time. With every second, Crow fades away more and more. Crow? Yes, darling. I really... Of fucking course! But before I can finish, he's gone. The prince and I are left there alone, with the snow and wind howling around us. I wait, dumbfounded, for the guard to arrive. Yo, there better be an afterwards like there was for, Faulkner. I know! Oh my god! No, there damn well better be, like, an epilogue type thing, like there was for Faulkner, where they get to be happily ever after, because holy fuck. Things unfold exactly like Crow said they would. When the royal guard catch up with us, the prince tells them I saved him from the kidnapper. I confirm the story, and in Starlight City I'm hailed as a hero. It feels hollow and empty, and I'm barely paying attention.
They take the prince away, back to his family. There's not much time to say goodbye, but I wouldn't know what to say anyway. I hope it worked. I hope he'll be okay. I think he will. He's still out there, somewhere in the future, isn't he? It's only been a few hours since we got back, and there's already talk of Southern Kingdom making me a knight as a reward for my heroic deed. I don't really feel like I have earned it, but maybe I'm just too sad right now. I've lost something important to me, something I didn't even know I needed. How can I care about anything else? By the end of the night, I'm in a tavern much like the one I started in. I'm lying in my bed, staring at the ceiling. How could I have met Crow and had him taken away from me so quickly? A few days ago, I didn't even know him. How can it hurt so much that he's gone? Even if I did meet him again in the future, could we even be together? He said he'd have to be on the run. It seems so unfair. Why can't he just do what he wants? Why shouldn't he use his magic? It's not like he uses it to do anything bad. Why does being who he is have to make him an outlaw? What if I do become a knight and the king makes me chase down guys like him someday? I don't want that. I feel confused, tired, and empty. But suddenly a thought occurs to me. Crow said I already changed time because he brought me along on this journey, even though I hadn't been there the first time. So who's to say I can't change time again? Instead of worrying about what Crow said will happen in the future, I've got my own future to think about. It's not here yet. I can still change it. I could accept the Southern Kingdom's offer and become a knight, a real knight. Just like I dreamed about when I was small. And once I become a knight, I can try to help mages. I can protect them, keep them safe, and try to stop the laws against them from being written. If I'm a knight, I want to do good on my own terms, sticking up for people in danger and fighting for what's right, even if it means going against the king. I can make the future better, and I don't have to use magic to do it. I'm not sure exactly what I can do, but I have to try. If Crow changed the flow of history to show me that, If Crow changed the flow of history to show me that, I'm not going to let it go to waste. I could even protect Crow himself. After all, he's still here, as strange as it is to think of him that way. The little Prince Elgandir is still in Starlight City, just a few hours away. As a knight in the Southern King's court, I might even see him once in a while. If things start to get really bad for magic people, I can be there for him and help him in a way no one else could. In 20 years, he'll even become the Crow I knew. Well, no, it won't be the same. But it'll be him, even if it's a different him. That's something to look forward to. There's no reason to keep wondering about it. I can't use time magic. I can't jump forward or back. All I can do is keep living and doing my best and see what happens. I sit up and go to my pack. The red rose is still there. It didn't disappear again. I stick it in a mug of water and look at it for a while. It's all I have left of the Crow I knew. No matter what happens, I've got to keep going. That's what he would want. He never let anyone stop him from living the life he wanted to live. If I can do that too, then he'll always be with me. That one was so good! Oh my god, I think that one was my favorite. That was a really, really great one. God damn, with the time travel and the... Holy fuck! Yeah, I'm glad we left it for last too. Like, what a way to go out. Like, I feel like we accidentally did them in order of, like, at least in my opinion. Like,
increasingly better. I don't want to say any of them are like the, you know, like the worst one, but like, you know what I mean, right? Like, they just kept getting better and better. Damn! That was fantastic! I love that one so much. Good to best. Yeah, that's it. How do I conclude that? Like, okay, so there wasn't like a forward, but the way that they ended it was still like really great. Like, fuck. Okay. Well, on that note, that is it for Rose of Winter. This is the 4th and final episode. Fuck. That was so fucking good. Yeah. So next for bonus streams, I'll see if I'll double check if I happen to own another game and to do another vote with, but it will likely be Dream Daddy because I've stumbled into owning that game, so that'd be fun. I might poke around in it I usually don't poke in these games too much before starting to stream, but I might poke around in it a little bit just to check out how the character creator works. Because this will be the first stream item where we'll have to actually create a character avatar. So I want to see what the settings are like and how that works, so that I'm familiar with it before going into it. Hell yeah. A note on bonus streams, though. I will be taking the week off next week for bonus streams, because from Monday through Thursday, I will be staying at my cousin's house again. I'll be visiting for a few days like I did in October. So, we will not start Dream Daddy next week, but the week after. Weekend streams shouldn't be interrupted. We're doing a thing where, like, I'm staying at his place for a few days, and then when I come home, he's coming back with me, and then staying at, my place for a few days with, obviously, with my parents and my brother, because I live with my parents. But his visiting here shouldn't disrupt weekend streams. Those should still be a go. But that would be Saturday, Sunday then. Again, next weekend. But yeah. In the meantime, this weekend, we'll definitely be running uninterrupted Saturday, Sunday streams. Hell yeah. Okay. That's the news. That's what's up with stream and stuff for the next few weeks. And that is all for tonight. Thanks so much for hanging out. I hope that you all enjoyed all of the Rose of Winter streams as much as I have. It's been really fun to explore all of these characters and, you know, get to know Rosemary and see all the kooky things this game can throw at us. Yeah, this should be up on YouTube pretty soon. Hell yeah. So, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you may be getting up to. Okay, that is good night from my end. And, yeah. Fingers crossed I'll be seeing y'all next weekend, and good night.